Is it wise to act before you know what you're getting into? I certainly think not, and I believe a number of wise men would think similarly. And if your actions would affect and reflect on your career, then it's all the more important you know what you're dealing with beforehand. As I see it, and I'm sure has will be echoed by others, the ability to conduct and evaluate research to aid the information science field, as well as any other fields they may become involved with, is the sign of a wise information professional. For that very reason that it allows them to gain insight into what they're working on, and therefore make informed decisions. I chose to do a little digging outside of my classes to find a concise way to explain why research is important to information professionals, not just the patrons of our institutions, and found such a thing provided by the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Research seeks to advance the existing body of knowledge in virtually all disciplines. Different methods are employed, but at its most fundamental level, research seeks to expand understanding. UNLV's short page on the value of research goes on to address various benefits to students, community, and even economy. Now, of course, all of these are presented in terms of why it is valuable to the UNLV, but as I see it, what can assist one establishment of higher learning can surely be a boon to any other. Any library, academic or public, should be able to appreciate what a greater understanding of their organization or community offers to them in terms of improvement. The methods of research to acquire this expansion of knowledge are almost too numerous for me to mention, but the American Library Association is helpful enough to provide examples. Those that I personally believe to be of the greatest benefit out of those they provide are action research, research initiated to solve or reflect on a problem, variable for its hands-on approach and ability to directly address problems, and surveys, a participatory method that can help the information professional learn more about the community his or her institution services, allowing for a targeting of expressed needs or desires in the community. In my LIS 610 class, I was presented with the concept of a needs assessment, the process of understanding what the patrons need or expect from services or products provided, as well as what might be needed to potentially draw in more users and customers. How this research information is identified can vary greatly, though I personally prefer methods of community analysis to see what materials are and aren't being frequently used by patrons, and simple question surveys for users. And with this research, I am capable of providing the collection management staff with the insight, or as a collection management staffer using the information, to appropriately address the faults and other needs of the collection. I've come to understand through my time in this program that without knowing the audience, collection management officials have no way to properly assess and apply the information in the building of the collections they offer to the public. My own ability to use research feedback was not done for a library organization, however, but as a part of my own schoolwork projects. The first of these was a small project for my LIS 635 course, in which I applied demographic information about the class to create a presentation about said details. While I did not use this information for anything other than the presentation at the time, were I at the helm, or at least part of a larger organization, and was this survey focusing on library patrons instead of fellow students, I could potentially put this information to use for the creation of services tailored specifically to them. For example, the survey revealed that 72% of students claimed they had either okay or pretty good technology skills. This could be used as a measuring device to determine at what level a technology workshop run by the library could begin. Instead of starting on the basics, it could immediately move into more advanced material, or at least spend less time on the basics. Or I could use this information as a way to run outreach missions to the community. Through this survey, I learned that only 2% of the class had no Facebook account, and 72% of the class used Facebook daily. This could mean that a library Facebook page would be an excellent way to provide the community with information. Similarly, but to a far more comprehensive level, my LIS 636 class, I was tasked with creating a website, and part of this process was me getting information back from my fellow students about it, as well as giving my own information to them. The format of the research was predetermined by the class, but questions I offered up in order to test the site's functionality were of my own creation. It was still the predetermined questions that provided the greatest aid through proper evaluation and application of the feedback research. It gave me insight into what was unappealing about the site or what needed to be worked on. Most of the complaints stemmed around the lack of appealing graphics and site colors, elements which I have striven to correct. In a similar manner, I chose to add a rather basic survey to the site's Contact Us page, providing me with the opportunity, based on usual volunteerism, to get useful feedback about the persons visiting my website. I eagerly hope that my career will bring with it future opportunities for me to conduct and apply more in-depth research on a larger scale than what I have done so far. While much of what I would be able to do with it will likely be learned through experience or further education, I relish the opportunities and challenges both that will arise in the interim. A proper application of research will always mean that the best possible service can be provided, and patrons will have the most opportunity to have their needs fulfilled. The same goes for research application in any other field, as marketing strategies are only successful when you have identified the target audience as people whom those strategies will resonate with. Knowledge is power.